Hi everyone, and welcome back to Enchanted Reiki. So on today's video, we're going to be showing you how to do a seated Reiki treatment for any clients that need to be seated. Here I've got Amelia.
Hi.
As my model today. So I'm going to be showing you how I would do certain hand positions, and I'm going to cover all of them, although you don't have to do all of the hand positions in one treatment. I certainly don't. Sometimes I only do 3 or 4, sometimes I do all of them, and you could do them in absolutely any order as well. Before we start, I do want to say, as the Reiki practitioner, you want to make sure that you're comfortable as well. So make sure that you have a chair, so when you're doing the lower chakras, it's more comfortable for you. You're not leaning over and your back's not hurting and anything like that. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting off usually with the head hand positions, you can ask the client if they prefer hands on or hands off, but if they say it's up to you, then of course it's up to you. You may want to do hands on in some areas and hands off in other areas if you find that the Reiki is getting very hot and very powerful. So the very first position I would tend to do would be both hands on the crown, like so. If you are doing hands on, you don't want to be too light so that you're moving around. It feels quite unstable, unsteady, but of course you don't want to put too much pressure on the person as well. So that's the first hand position that you could do. Alternatively, you could place one hand just here on the hairline and the other hand at the back of the head or at the base of the neck as well. Or you could do that and then do that one as well. Next, of course, is cupped over the ears like this. This is a nice position, especially if people have migraines. This tends to help, and I like to do this position. For over the eyes, you can just come up over the face like this. So unlike doing a self-treatment for yourself where you would place your hands over your eyes this way, you would place them over this way, of course making sure that you've got your hands actually over their eyes and it's quite comfortable. In this position, I wouldn't place my whole fingertips all over their face. I would just place the palm, just this part of the palm, just over their brows, and just place my hands down like this. The next position coming down would be around the neck. So again, you want to place your hands like this. Perhaps place your hands on the collarbone, avoiding strangling them or even touching the neck. Can be quite uncomfortable. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you, where someone's like really pressed really hard on the neck, but that's not comfortable. So just place your hands on the chest like this, or on the collarbone. After that, a lot of people don't teach this, but you can just place your hands on the shoulders as well. This isn't one of the traditional hand positions, but I do like this one. I feel this works as well if someone is dealing with problems and needs strength, and I just find that this hand position really helps with that. And then moving to the front, you can stay standing for this position. I find it's fine for me, probably because I'm shorter. So it's okay, but if you are much taller, you don't want to bend down like this. It's preferable to get a seat, but you can place one hand here on the chest and one hand on the back. Now if you are male and you're treating a female, you may feel a bit uncomfortable about this, so it's okay to do hands off, maybe a couple of inches, 1 to 2 inches away from the area, and you can place the other hand on the back as well, level at the same place. Okay, so now I'm sitting next to the client, and again, like I was saying when I was standing up, this position you can do when you're sitting down as well. It may be more comfortable for you if you are a little bit taller than 5'3". And then of course it is entirely up to you. If they say they have a problem with their shoulder, for example, or their arm, you can simply just place your hands on their arms like so, or whatever you feel is, best suited for the situation. Now there are 2 ways to go about doing the lower chakras. You can come to the front and place your hands like this over the front, or alternatively you can just place one hand on the front and one hand at the back of the chair. You don't need to have the person sitting upright and have your hands squeezed between their back and the chair. That can be quite uncomfortable for the recipient, especially if they have back problems and they might want to just lean back into the chair as well. Also, of course, in the beginning, make sure they're comfortable. They might want a pillow, or they might want a small blanket over their legs, and that's perfectly fine as well. What you can do is one hand here and one hand at the back of the chair. Reiki does work, it goes through things. We know this, we do distance Reiki as well, and we know it can travel a distance, so you know, it goes through your clothes, it can go through the chair. So that's another position right there, just at the base of the rib cage, which would be the solar plexus. Then moving down, you have the Sacral Chakra, which is roughly about a couple of inches below the belly button. Again, I'm moving my hand at the back slightly lower as well, just to line up with the front. And then when you come to the base chakra, it's entirely up to you. I like to just do this, place my hands over the person's lap like this. You're using your intention as the Reiki practitioner or Reiki master to send Reiki to whichever area you think that you're actually thinking of and that you're intending. So it will go to wherever you want it to go to. Now, if they have problems with their legs, of course this is slightly trickier than when they're lying down, because you can just move up and down the body. If it's problems with the knees or the thighs, you can simply place your hands on their knees or on their thighs. If it's problems with their feet, then you may actually, as the practitioner, what you can do is you can get another chair and place it in front of them so they can raise both their feet up. If you don't have another chair, which you probably do because you're sitting on one right now, but if you don't have another chair, you can, if it's okay and comfortable for you, you can kneel down and do it that way as well. But most people won't really require that. If they decide they want to do a chair treatment, it's usually just the top half, to be honest. That's what I've learned from my experience. Do you have anything to add, since you're also a practitioner?
I've had treatment with Angel before, and her energy's amazing, and I highly recommend her.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but well, thank you very much, Amelia, for being on the channel. And if you really like this video, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell, and like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.